So my name is Andre, and I'm running for SNPhA Vice President. So a little background information about me. I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised, but more specifically, I'm from Southwest 80, Texas. And also, I'm fortunate enough to graduate here with a bachelor's in biochemical and biophysical sciences, also with a minor in chemistry. And also I have a couple photos here to reflect on what I would call a successful school year in SNPhA. I have a couple photos for this past regional conference, and I also, I was fortunate enough to be the P1 liaison currently, and I also have the duty to MC with my fellow P1 liaison Kurto for the 19th annual SNPhA alumni dinner. And I'm also representing SNPhA tomorrow at Mr. Pharmacy. Come out tomorrow, it's gonna be a fun event, and I will represent for SNPhA. I got a whole lot involved to make sure that everyone has fun. So why do I want to run for SNPhA as Vice President? Well, the reason why I joined SNPhA because I would have the opportunity to serve the underserved in the communities like my own A-Leaf, and that was a driving force, which was also fueled my passion for SNPhA. And I want to run for Vice President because I want to continue serving the underserved communities like my own, but on a more grand scale as Vice President. So after talking to previous presidents and vice presidents, I have a better understanding of what is required for me as Vice President, and it goes in detail with report all chapters advanced throughout the year to the National SNPhA Board, find guest speakers for the general meetings, and also assist the president in managing organizations. So here are my skills that I think will make me a great SNPhA Vice President. I am proactive and reactive. I think they go hand in hand because you have to be proactive, you have to anticipate what are the hiccups when you're planning things, and you also have to be reactive when those certain hiccups and obstacles do occur. And I was able to develop these skills in my undergrad experience in 2 years of working with the orientation team. Throughout the school year, we planned for the summer. We were proactive and we were reactive. And for example, that how I had to be reactive and adjust was when I was also required to have guest speakers for the presentation and the orientation. And when those guest speakers were late, I had to be reactive and find guest speakers who were there early, and that required them to give their presentation 20 minutes or 30 minutes in advance. And so that way the show continued, and once the late speakers came on, I just added them to the schedule to make sure that everything ran as smoothly as possible. I'm also reliable and I have open communication, and these were things that I was able to exhibit as a current P1 liaison. Whenever there were certain events where healthcare events where whether I need to sign up, Darian or Javon, they asked me, I had open communication. I was able to step up, change my schedule, or help the HIV Initiative Awareness Chair with the bake sales and their current event that's going on today at 4:30. Make sure you guys come out and support SNPhA. I'm also detail oriented, which is very important for the Vice President role because the Vice President is in charge of collecting all the information, compiling it, and sending it to the nationals. And I was able to show their skills by my P1 liaison duty, and every time I went to the Pharmacy Council meetings, I took extensive and detailed notes and then related to Darren and Javon to make sure that they were on the same page with Pharmacy Council. And I think that's very critical for the Vice President because the Vice President takes all the information, and the Vice President is important for tallying all the points that make sure that we get as much points as possible. Every detail matters. And I work well with others. I understand that I'll be working with a president-elect and president and also an e-board team. So I think it's very important to work well with others. So my goals, of course, I want to uphold the legacy that SNPhA has. We're currently the chapter of the year. There's no other chapter in the United States that can say that, and that's something I want to prioritize if I'm granted the opportunity to become Vice President. I also want to improve the alumni and student relationship, and I will work with the historian, and I'll have introduced member and alumni of the week posters on our Facebook. So that way the members and alumni are more familiar with each other. And when we have events like the SNPhA Alumni Dinner, that will be a great way to have conversations, gateway conversations in hopes that the members will mentor our students. And also I'll use it as a tool to reward hardworking e-board chair members and also members. So members who they show excellence and they're on top of everything, I would give them priority on the member of the week so that way they have a way to be motivated and do their very best. And then I also want to bring diverse speakers to the meetings. Kind of like what Emmy said earlier in her speech, I will want to have members in our community that not just pharmacists come and speak to us, and also I want to have a diverse bunch of pharmacists, whether they work in the industry, they work in retail, hospital, or clinic. I want a diverse group of pharmacists to speak to us. And I want to end things off with a quote It's called working hard for something we don't care about. It's called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. I'm very passionate about SNPhA. That was the reason why I joined, and my passion is the reason why I want to become vice president. So I understand the vice president role will be difficult, and my passion would help me combat the difficulty and balance school and running the organization. Thank you.
I have one question for you, and then one question will come from Darian as well. So the vice president is in charge of managing the reporting of all the chapter's events to the National SNPhA office, and so therefore it's the responsibility of all the officers to submit their events to the vice president in time. How would you handle a situation where it seems like an officer isn't reporting their events to you?
So after speaking with you, I got a more detailed of how things go about. So I would, first of all, I'll take the SNPhA Nationals deadline, and I'll give 2 weeks in advance and give that deadline to my members. And also, if in the way I want to go about things is in the summer, I want to talk to each member and go over the timeline, and I'll make sure that there's something that they're very comfortable and convenient for them. So if for some reason that they can't follow their timeline, I will reach out to them and make sure that everything is okay, and I'll offer myself as service. Is there anything I can do to help you directly, or if I can get other people to help you as well, to make sure you get back on track?
So my question for you is, as the vice president and the president work together throughout the year, conflicts are sure to arise from differencing of opinions. So how would you try to resolve that without trying to undermine the president, but also trying to get your point across? Okay,
so if there's a conflict, an issue that occurred that, let's say, that started tension between the president and the elect or the vice president or anyone, I would address it and say that, hey, this is my opinion, I understand your opinion, and if any tension were to arise, I will implement a rule that I learned in undergrad when I was working for the Office of Admissions, is that we have a 24-hour rule. If we have a disagreement, or if someone says something that that doesn't go well with you, we have 24 hours to let them know and address it then and there. If it goes beyond the 24 hours, then you will have to let it go. And that just encourages that people address things as they occur and not to let it manifest as something that will cause tension between exec board members.